Welcome to the pleated skirts and leather pants video for fall. There was only one person who voted to not have the leather pants in this video, so unfortunately when you get to that section, just kind of skip over it if you want to just listen to pleated skirts. So what I'm going to do today is a little bit different. I'll go into pleated skirts first and what to look for. I'll do the same for leather pants, and then I'm going to kind of go back and forth and modify looks based on which base or which bottom you're wearing, because I think there's a lot of things that would work together, and then there's things I would do a little bit differently for each one. So yeah, I guess that's it. Let's get started. Let's start with what to look for when purchasing a pleated skirt. So I am currently wearing an Aritzia pleated skirt. I just purchased it a couple weeks ago, so it is still available today. Here's what I love about it. See this wider band? Super versatile and really flexible and great for a lot more body shapes than something with a thinner band from this Aritzia pants, pleated skirt that I purchased, gosh, a couple years ago. So what I didn't love about this pleated skirt was like I said, the narrow band, but also see how the pleats are really sort of tight and close together, and it goes all the way down. It's not very fluid, and what this did, I found, was it created extra bulk around where the pleats started along the hips or the waist, or wherever I put the, however I placed the pleated skirt. This one, if you see, if I bring it a little closer, you can see that the pleats, they're a little softer, they're not as rigid and structured as in this skirt, and also the bottom flows quite a bit. So the pleats loosen up along the length of the skirt. So not only do you have the flexibility of having a wider band, which sits a lot nicer along the waist, but you have more of a flowing skirt, and it keeps from adding too much width and bulk to your body, to the hip and the stomach area, and even along the length of the skirt. So it's a lot more flattering. So I would kind of keep in mind when you're purchasing what the waistband is doing, how it sits. Make sure it's not too tight and that your skin is coming over the band, not too loose that your skirt's falling and you can't raise it up if you need to a little bit. Another thing to look for is how much bulk is being created where your pleats are. So some pleats are a little bit looser, some are more structured. Typically a wider pleat will add less bulk, in the sense that a lot of the wider pleats will sit flat along the seam or along the band, and then they don't create bulk. But when you have a skirt like this with a lot of little tiny structured pleats, or like more form-fitting, that adds bulk as well. So take a look at how soft the pleats are, how wide they are. Some pleated skirts will have a wider pleat, but they're stitched down to a certain part, and then they open up. So that could be more flattering for different body shapes than something like this would be. But that's a different look altogether. Now, before I move on to the leather or faux leather or pleather or vegan leather pant and talk about fit and what to look for, let's just talk about what I'm wearing. So I threw on, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I've worn this like 3 days in a row, this little bodysuit from Aritzia, which I love. Note, it also comes in a square neck too, depending on your body shape, what's happening up here, and what look you prefer. Love it, it's super versatile. So here's a thought. Because there's so much bulk and volume in a pleated skirt, I like to wear it with something fitted on top as an option. So whether that's a bodysuit or a fitted, like I have here, I have like a little fitted turtleneck that you could wear, anything that you could put it sitting over or tucked in with a belt, that's a nice option. But I love the option of wearing a bodysuit, whether it's leopard print or any print or even solid. I have another one here. I'm going to throw this one on with the leather pants though, so you can see. It's just a lacy version. And then throwing on a little jacket or a little topper. So with this, I mean, the other day, if you saw my other video, you saw with the t-shirt dress, I threw on this macage leather jacket. I think that's a really cute look with a little bodysuit and a pleated skirt, because the pleated skirt's really feminine. So I love sort of the edgier look of a motorcycle jacket. So you have the motorcycle, you've got a little pattern underneath, you've got the pleated skirt, the ankle boot, you know me and my sock booties, so I threw that on with a bit of a heel, and that's a really great look. I also have a different leather jacket if you are not crazy about motorcycle. I have this other, this is a really, really, really old Danier. Has a 3/4 sleeve. For those of you who've worked with me, you know I hate a 3/4 sleeve, and I'll do another video on that another time. But that's just another cute little look with a little jacket. Notice I'm wearing them both to the waist or the hip, and I like that with a long bottom. I like to do a shorter jacket on top. Different story if you're wearing a sweater. I'll cover that when I do sweaters, but here's just an option for a pleated skirt. Now let's talk about what to look for when purchasing a leather or a faux leather pant. I'm currently wearing the Aritzia vegan leather straight or something to that effect. That's also current this year, so they are still available. They have a few different cuts available. I purchased this one because it's cropped and I'm 5'3", so this saves me from rolling pants. So what to look for when you are purchasing leather or faux leather, it will stretch. So when you're purchasing, purchase snug. Not so tight that you can't breathe, but tight enough that it looks snug along the hip and waist area. You'll see it looks a little bulkier on one side for me. I have scoliosis, so I have a curve here and I kind of indent here, so nothing really looks good on me on that side. So just ignore that. But you want a nice fitted fit so that as you wear your pant throughout the day, it will loosen up, but it doesn't look oversized. Unless, of course, you are purchasing a pant that is meant to be a little bit looser in this area. There are some that are drawstring or have more of a relaxed or like a sweatpant kind of look, but they're made in a leather, faux leather. That's a different story. But even those will stretch with wear throughout the day. So keep that in mind. Now, so I switched out from the leopard print bodysuit to this lace bodysuit. Both would work with these leather pants, but I just wanted to show you another option. I'd like the lace on this one because it's nice and feminine with the edgier pant. What I did do before with the pleated skirt, which I will not do with this leather pant, is wear a leather jacket because one's faux, one's not. They're different leathers, and also I don't like the look of leather on leather. For day, for evening, it's just it's not something I prefer. I think it's a little too much. I think we're creative enough that we can come up with something different. I like the idea for this look with the lace top or bodysuit to throw on this blazer. So if you watch my t-shirt video, you'll have seen this is another Aritzia piece. I don't know why I have everything Aritzia up today, but it's supposed to be an oversized blazer. I don't like things too oversized, so I bought it really narrow in the shoulder. But what I like about this together is it's a little unexpected to have something a little bit more conservative with something edgier. So I like the feel. There's a lot going on. So you got a little bit of lace, you have the patterned blazer, but I find it's not too much because it's black. All black here. Little bit of red, if you remember from last video, in the blazer. So I popped on another ankle boot in the red, so it ties it all together. So a few things going on, but I think it works really well together. I like the fact that it's a longer blazer with a cropped pant. If you followed me for a while, you know I like to fold or roll my pants and have them a little bit higher because it adds a little bit of a stylish element. So I like that they're a little bit cropped, but the blazer's a little bit longer. I probably wouldn't wear this blazer with the pleated skirt because it's long and I'm short, so it would just be too much and too overwhelming. Sleeves up, it draws the eye up, as I always say, and this is just one option for the leather pant. So moving on, I have switched out my top and I have switched out my shoes. I'm actually wearing two different shoes, yes, I'm aware, but I want to show you the difference. I want to continue what I mentioned before in my previous clip when I was wearing the lace bodysuit. Because the pants are a little bit edgier in the leather, I love pairing leather with something really feminine. You'll see I'm wearing my $20 H&M leopard blouse, which I wear all the time. It's probably one of my favorite purchases. I threw on a little belt, and you will see that I've switched from a boot to a heel. I have two options here, one in a Bordeaux, and then I threw on this little mule with a little bit of bling on it, just as other options. I think that when you pair something feminine with something edgy, it adds a really nice contrast to it, which creates interest. Interest makes your outfit interesting, and and unique, and you can make it all your own when you start mixing sort of different looks. So this is just another option for the leather pants. Could you do this with a pleated skirt? Yes, absolutely. If I was tucking in the pleated skirt, I would probably belt. If you want, I'll throw the pleated skirt on and I'll show you the difference. So here you will see that I've literally just switched out the leather pants for the pleated skirt, and I am going to have to hold my belt because I don't have enough holes in this one, so it's not tight enough. But you can see that this is, you know, when you have the feminine with the feminine, and then you've got the feminine in the heel, either this one or this one, whichever goes, you'll see that it makes like a really pretty sort of dressy look without being over the top. It's just really nice and polished. If you don't want to show the elastic waistband, you can always do a wider belt, or if you have a wraparound as well. Let me see here. Excuse me. I have a wider wraparound belt. That's another option. When it's wider, you hide the elastic of the band, and then it's a little bit more polished looking if you have something wider. It depends on your body shape and how you like to wear things, but that's another option as well. So let us move on to something a bit more casual, because you'll see that there's a lot more versatility in a pleated skirt than just doing something dressy. So here's another option, a bit more casual than the dressier look we had on before. So you will see I am back in my sneakers from my t-shirt video, and I've just thrown on a little white tee, folded the sleeves because that's what I do. Another option is like a little rock tee is a nice option as well. Having that kind of edgier look with the feminine in the skirt and then the casual in the shoe. So it's mixing looks, like I said, makes it a bit more interesting. What would I do on top? I mean, I could do the leather jacket again, but we've seen that. Do you remember this oversized denim jacket from the t-shirt video? So I could do this as well. I could do like a regular sort of fitted denim jacket too as a look. And that's just a nice little option too. Really casual. See my height difference? I'm not ending the t-shirt at the same place as the jacket. But if you had a shorter jacket too that comes up a little higher on the hip, like maybe a bit more of like that Levi's sort of fitted look, that's another option as well. Just depends what you have in your closet. So let me switch this out with the leather pants so you can see how that looks. So here I am back in the leather pant. Same t-shirt, same sneaker as the previous clip with the pleated skirt. And so you see it works really well together. Could I go back into the denim jacket as a topper? Absolutely, that would work. But I really love the denim with the femininity of the pleated skirt because I like the contrast. So here's another suggestion. If you have any silk jackets, silk or satin or even polyester, whatever you have, but really like a shiny fabric, here I have a couple in a bomber style. You know how much I love my bombers. But I love the contrast between the dressier fabric with the edgier leather pants. So that's another option. I won't bother putting it on. Here's something else. If you have a longer cardigan, or in this case I have a wool jacket, this one is Harris Wharf, London, to throw on as it gets a little bit colder, here's another option. So this is wool with the leather. Here's what I love about wearing a longer cardigan with a cropped or folded pant. It just adds a nice contrast, and it plays with proportion. So you have the longer jacket with the shorter pant versus a long jacket with a long pant. So I like playing with lengths as well, and I'll do a separate video. It's been requested. Yes, I remember, Gloria. We're going to talk about coat lengths with skirt lengths, etc. So that'll come in the next few weeks. But this is just another option. I know a lot of you have longer cardigans, so that would be nice with the leather pant as well. I wouldn't do this with the pleated skirt because they're both kind of really long. Because I said I'm on the shorter side, so proportion-wise doesn't work for me. But of course, sleeves up, just another option and another look. So for my final look, I threw on an oversized sweater because that's something that most of us have in our closet. And it works really well, as you'll see, with the leather pants. Now, as I've always mentioned before, sleeves up to draw the eye up. When you have sleeves down on an oversized sweater, it can overwhelm you. It's not as stylish, and it creates this line of width. Front tucking as well is also helpful because it creates length in the legs. Now I have it front tucked onto the side because I like an asymmetrical line because it doesn't chop you and it keeps the eye moving. Could I wear the sweater down? Sure. I just find it's not as interesting, and it chops me right here and it makes me look even shorter and bulkier up here. So you'll see the difference when you do this. Now, does this work with the pleated skirt? Absolutely, let me show you. So here I am in the same oversized sweater, same ankle boots as I had on with the leather pants, except I'm wearing them with the pleated skirt. So you can see that the look works really well, whether with the pants or with the skirt. It's just a slightly different look and just depends on what you want to put on for the day. And that's it for today. One final thing before I leave you, because there's always one final thing before I leave, is that you will start to notice the more videos that I do, that there are going to be pieces that I reuse over and over again. And that's because whenever I purchase clothing, and I recommend this to my clients as well, is that you purchase pieces that aren't just one-offs, that go with many different outfits and different looks and other pieces in your wardrobe. And that's the start of a really great sort of capsule collection or a capsule wardrobe. When you purchase pieces that are multifunctional and go with different items in your closet, you will create or have the ability to create more outfits with less pieces than purchasing, you know, a top that only goes with this pair of pants, etc., etc. One thing I do find though is whenever I go into a client's wardrobe or into their closet, that they're wearing certain pieces a certain way with other pieces and pairing them only, you know, one way. So a lot of us have many outfits in our closet and we're not maximizing what we do have. So take a look at your closet, see what you're pairing together, and see if there's other creative ways that you can mix and match pieces for more outfits with what you already have. And so now I'm done, and I will talk to you soon.